to Milan, to one of the great occasions in the world of football. The derby fixture between AC Milan and Inter, and a captivating confrontation has extra spice today. Milan, the league leaders, Inter, the defending champions, and the San Siro Stadium has never been better prepared to house such a huge crowd. Redeveloped and ready for the World Cup's opening fixture on June the 8th. Well, Milan's defeat by Juventus last Sunday revealed a few mortal flaws. Now they lead Napoli by just 1 point, Inter 6 points back with 6 games left, and aching for revenge for the outcome of this season's first derby back in November. Ivani taking his time. I say again that Milan really had the greater incentive to win this derby rather than play for a draw. Baresi. Oh, and Van Basten found room for a shot, and Milan have scored. Fuser looking for one of his own, Ferry, and Fuser, did he foul him? No, it's a goal! It's 2-0. Ivani. Oh, that's a marvellous ball because Verdelli was playing Massaro onside. Massaro tucks in the third. Well, for today's derby, Arrigo Sacchi has made 2 changes from the side beaten in Turin a week ago. He's recalled Andrea Pazzagli in goal in place of Giovanni Galli. And Frank Rijkaard is available again after suspension, much needed too, with Carlo Ancelotti banned from this game. Giovanni Trapattoni, the Inter coach, who was 51 yesterday, will his side be able to give him the perfect birthday present? Well, Inter have won only 1 of their last 7 games, but the coach keeps faith with the side which was held to a goalless draw by Verona. Alessandro Bianchi was the one doubt with a leg strain, but he's been taking a full part in training over the last couple of days. The 209th Milan derby. Inter have won 71, AC Milan 80. But past history really counts for nothing, except to tell you that the matches are very unpredictable. And certainly there's a fair amount of psychological influence on this game. But for Milan's problems against Juventus, Inter would certainly have come in as underdogs, and remember, they are the defending champions. But Milan have looked weary in their last couple of games, and Arrigo Sacchi has spoken up for his players in that respect. They'll need all their strength and their fitness today, though, and their appetite for victory. Maldini. Touched off by Massaro. Rijkaard trying to take it quickly and not able to control. It's always a breathtaking start to this kind of game. Played at breakneck speed, and here's Donadoni. Leaving Bianchi in his wake and past Bergami with the ball. But the redoubtable Giuseppe Bergami realised that there was serious danger in the shape of Donadoni, and the foul just outside the area. Well, if Milan's spirits have sagged a little over the last few days, they would be lifted sky high if they can fashion a goal from the free kick. Donadoni drives it in. Oh, and it's off the line from Van Basten and blocked from Massaro. There's appeals for handball. The whistle's gone. It's in Inter's favour. And how did it stay out? Particularly when Van Basten was the player homing in for what seemed like a certain goal. And it was back-heeled off the line by Bianchi with help from Klinsmann. Milan will come no closer. And how deep will their disappointment be, I wonder, at not making that chance count? For a good chance it was. Colombo. Rijkaard. Evani won the ball unfairly. It was a let-off for Inter, and Trapattoni will appreciate that. Oh, Pasali started to come, and Inter have scored! Aldo Serena beat the goalkeeper to a long ball from Lothar Matthäus. Well, we were a millimetre or so away from a goal at the other end, but an error of judgment there by Pasali has cost Milan dear, and Serena, not distracted by the goalkeeper, backheaded it in. Colombo's cross, and Walter Zenga hangs on as if for dear life. Well, even by the standards set by these two teams in their past meetings, it's been a most extraordinary start. And Aldo Serena, who had one season in the red and black of Milan back in 82-83 when they were in the second division, has certainly damaged the morale of his former club. Klinsmann. Blocked by Baresi, who wants to repair the damage quickly. And Massaro with a run-in on goal here. And Massaro again, it's a double save by Zenga. Both attempts were well struck. And Franco Baresi made it all possible. But Zenga determined here that Inter wouldn't lose their lead straight away. Bremer. Klinsmann. It's certainly a soft and at times it looks rather a clinging pitch. And there are some fears here that although the facilities for the spectators have been vastly improved, that the pitch has suffered. There's Evani trip on Klinsmann. The pitch has suffered because of the roof, which hasn't allowed nature to get at the playing surface. Matthäus pacing out his run. Milan not so concerned as to set a particularly solid wall. It's clipped forward by the West German captain. Well, at this stage now, the Inter fans must be thinking, if only we'd won a few more over recent weeks when there have been a number of drawn games. It's still asking a lot for Trapattoni's team to take the title for a second year in a row. It's not just the case of Milan faltering, Napoli must do so, and there's a problem here for Klinsmann. But Napoli have got a very difficult game today, away to Sampdoria. Well, Baresi was fouled, actually, as he released the ball towards Van Basten. Caught by the trailing leg of Bergame. And for that, Giuseppe Bergame has his name taken by Pierluigi Pairetto. All the concern at Milan's position was reflected on Baresi's face then. Rijkaard, was he pushing Serena? He was. Aldo Serena helping back in defence, but how pleased he will be to continue his record of getting his goals in the big games. They haven't come so regularly in the minor matches this season. Remember, he was the top scorer in the Italian First Division last season with 22. Today's effort only is 6 so far. But it's Donadoni now for Milan. We're hoping to perhaps carve out a chance for the current leading scorer in the First Division, Marco van Basten. Donadoni has done well, but not quite well enough. And so far, Zenga really living up to his international form. Klinsmann going ahead of Mattioli. The ball played instead to Matthäus. Well, there was no way through the centre there. Costa Curta sorted that. And at the moment, both sides finding room enough to pick their passes from midfield. It gets more difficult closer to the edge of the opposing penalty area. And Bremo. Well, that second touch could have embarrassed Zenga. Fedeli. Mattioli made all that possible. And it's another possibility here. Pasali has caught Serena. Is it inside the area? It is. And Inter have a penalty. Mattioli had done some determined work before setting Serena through, and Pasali, who was responsible really for the first goal, may well have cost Milan a second on his return to the side, because it's Matthäus to take it. Oh, and put it under the goalkeeper's dive. 2-0 it is, but only just. Pasali went the right way, but it's not been his day, and Arrigo Sacchi wonders as he looks at his watch whether there's time for a recovery with 2 goals down in 23 minutes. And really, Milan have now conceded 5 without reply in a game and a quarter. And that's not the kind of quality they need to win the championship. Beaten 3-0 in Turin by Juventus a week ago. And finding Inter inspired against them here. Donadoni. Trying to link up with Colombo, whose place for this game was in some doubt because he was substituted for a tactical reason a week ago, quite early in the proceedings, and close to making an impact there. Donadoni. And Inter can play their way forward again. Rijkaard challenging back on Matthäus and penalised, and more frustrations for Milan. He was trying to get a clear view of the ball here, Frank Rijkaard, and he felt that he did. And possibly that replay supports his case. Berti. And Milan with Klinsmann waiting in the middle. And here he is. Oh, and he was beaten by the spin, and well, really the game could have been all over then, but play has been pulled back in any case. When Nicola Berti showed once more really the difference between the two sides so far. Inter won the title with powerful breaks from midfield last season, and they've turned on the power again here. In goes Klinsmann. And a clash of heads then with Baresi, and Klinsmann first to signal for help. And those two have had a battle already this season. In the match in November, Franco Baresi ended up with a broken arm in a challenge with the West German striker and was out for a month. And harrowing pictures really from the Milan point of view here. 2 goals adrift and possibly going to lose their captain. It was a fearful crack. But Baresi is made of very stern stuff. Berti had gone off the pitch for minor repairs. But Franco Baresi goes on for Milan, and that's the best news they could have. Donadoni. Costa Curta coming forward. We've seen very little of Van Basten. And everyone putting their shoulder to the wheel for Inter. Klinsmann working back. And Mattioli getting in a tangle. And it's a free kick to Milan. Coming up to half-time, and Milan badly in need of a morale-boosting goal, and Donadoni well aware of that. Well, he's much more a goal maker than a goal taker, really. But he's setting a good example for his teammates here. Came off Donadoni. And Mattioli has been so quick to the ball when it's been loose in his area of the pitch. Well, there was 2 or 3 incidents there that went on behind the referee's back. But to the players' credit, they've calmed themselves down pretty quickly given the circumstances, and Donadoni drives on again. Cavani. Maldini. Well, Donadoni does have the capacity to turn a game with his work from midfield and make chances. But what an uphill struggle it's going to be for Milan in the second half. It wouldn't be such a sharp incline if they could snatch a goal before half-time, but in stoppage time now, there'll be a little bit of that after the damage to Baresi. But not quite as much as Milan hoped for. In fact, only 30 seconds added on, which seems a little surprising. An extraordinary opening to the game. If Milan had got the first goal and they were so close to it, we might have had a different story to tell. But Serena struck, and Pazzali has had a poor first half, conceding the penalty, from which Matthäus made it 2-0 to Inter. Who did very well to touch Crippa's fantastic shot onto the top of the post. De Napoli didn't lose his concentration, nor did Maradona. They went for goal and they got it. An instant turn, an immediate shot. Rui Barros. And if Juventus had come here with defensive intentions, which really haven't been too much in their makeup this season, if they'd wanted to sit back and play on the break, they'll have to think again. De Napoli. Carnevale holding off Brio. Spotting De Napoli in support. Carreca. Cripper, who loves to cut in from the left and hit those shots with his right foot, curls across now. Fans who've had to endure some difficult matches and some poor results in the last 6 weeks or so. In a buoyant mood at the moment. Although Ferrara came off the worse. It's a free kick against him. Alenikov. De Agostini. De Napoli got in the way. Alenikov. Oh, and Rui Barros not quite tall enough in the end. De Agostini got the cross in with his weaker foot. And maybe Rui Barros was surprised with the pace on the ball. Yeah. He was looking for what would have been a very good position. Milan start the second half. They're only 3 days away from the second leg of their European Cup quarter-final against the Belgian champions, Mechelen. The demanding fixtures come thick and fast for them in a variety of competitions. And over the evidence of 45 minutes here, those demands are taking their toll. That's to take nothing away from Inter, whose season is very much on the one track. Milan do have quite a tough run in terms of the remaining games in the league. The next two are away to Lecce and Bologna. Neither an easy trip. They've got Sampdoria at home, then Bari at home and Verona away. Verona could be scrapping to stay in the first division. Well, there was a bit of pushing and argy-bargy here between Ferry and Van Basten, and Ferry has got the yellow card. Ricardo Ferry, who was out of the side for a long time after the first derby in November with a shoulder problem. Ferry's header. Here's Colombo. Well, Bergami is certainly doing his job effectively. Inter quite prepared to sit back and let Milan carry the fight to them. Marco Van Basten is just having one of those days when the ball isn't sticking at his feet, which is a most unusual experience. Rijkaard. And again. Serena running into Baresi. Here's Maldini. Milan have got to get some of their defenders forward to try and open up this rather massed into defence. Maldini. Van Basten clips it in, but it's veering away from Massaro. Well, Giovanni Trapattoni, I would think, would be pleased with the way his team is organised at the back. Certainly Inter have tightened up since that flurry of shots that Zenga had to deal with early in the first half. Rijkaard. Rather stumbling it forward from midfield. Donadoni, in truth, still represents, on today's form, the best route back into the game for Milan. Rijkaard. Oh, my word, that was a potentially crippling challenge from Nicola Berti, who acknowledged that he was to blame. Tassotti. Oh, it might run through for Massaro. It was an instant, really, where Verdelli's concentration was just lacking for an instant. Van Basten! Oh, it shaved the outside of the post. And really represents the difference in fortunes between the two sides today. Marco Van Basten, who missed that early chance, with an opportunity to put his mark on the game. And Zenga very grateful that that just, in the end, rolled off the outside of the post and behind. Ivani. Baresi collecting from Van Basten. Rijkaard. Donadoni, Colombo away on the right. Further right of Tassotti. And there's a good angle for a cross now. Van Basten got to it. Massaro seemed to be shoved down, with everyone rather looking at the ball. Milan got nothing. Donadoni. And that looked more of a dive that time, but Bergami was again quick to recognise the point of danger. Territorially, Milan doing well in the second half, but there's still two down. A match of 26 fouls. Away by Klinsmann, onto the head of Baresi. Well, the linesman was flagging, and the referee has finally called a halt. Now, was he flagging for offside, or Arrigo Sacchi, like a lot of the crowd, not quite sure of what the outcome is going to be here? He'll be pleased that it's a free kick to his team. Maybe for a spot of handball after that back heel by Tassotti. Baresi goes for the return. Oh, and Zenga was a little slow to come. Possibly hoping that Bergami could deal with it, but it really looked the goalkeeper's ball, as it turned out to be in the end. On from Bianchi. Rijkaard. Massaro. And now Van Basten. Massaro came in a second time. Oh, and presumably he's penalised for trying to deceive the referee by diving. But Walter Zenga was a barrier that Van Basten couldn't get past here. And that, by Van Basten's standards, was a good chance. The follow-up incident ended in Massaro being penalised. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Milan were moving so sweetly, like well-oiled machinery, and it really did seem impossible to imagine them in any sort of difficulty. But now they're staring a second defeat in a row in the league in the face, and although they're getting plenty of the ball here, there's just a little lack of conviction which we didn't see from them for such a long time. It's going to be Baresi, the elder, Beppe Baresi, Franco's older brother, a veteran of many of these occasions. To replace Mattioli is more of an inventive midfield player. Baresi with a strong defensive streak to help Inter shore it up over the time that remains, some 17 minutes. Costa Curta, oh, and there's room here for Tassotti. Well, Milan are starting to make one or two things happen, but they're running out of time. Oh, Baresi's first involvement there to block the corner. And Massaro is the long throw man for Milan. Tassotti heads on, Van Basten's there, and whatever Milan try at the moment will knock towards the goal. It's within the reach of Zenga. Oh, and here's an opportunity for Inter. A stray header by Costa Curta. Berti and Klinsmann, he's put it wide. He really wasn't to know how much time he had. It was a chapter of accidents for Milan. And Klinsmann with a glaring miss. Well, maybe that's the first thing that's really gone Milan's way in the match. Can they build on it? If Klinsmann had scored, the 3-0 defeat in November would have been totally avenged. There's still a glimmer of hope for the league leaders. But they've got to change the picture pretty quickly. Certainly we've seen more of Van Basten so far in the second half. Verdelli doing the covering. It's another corner. That's Nicola Berti, who's prostrate at the moment. The game goes on, and Donadoni still keeps it in play, but Inter with some room here for Klinsmann. Baresi moving across. Still Klinsmann going on, and all the while Berti was, I suppose, technically in an offside position, but he could not have been interfering with play. He could hardly stand up. But Inter weren't too concerned about the state of their colleague. They were looking for another goal. And very nearly got one. Berti's still getting his senses together, but he's prepared to play on without any further attention. Bremer, who came back to get onside. Baresi. Serena! It's strange, really, that his goal tally has fallen off this season. Obviously, the way he plays with Klinsmann has suited the West German, and Serena's done a lot of unselfish work. But he's mighty powerful in the air. He's back helping out now as Bremer will clear. And again. Mateus and the three West Germans very much together then, as Klinsmann ends up on the deck. Barezi's free kick. Oh, and it should have been from one Baresi to the other. Serena making a nuisance of himself and in the end fouling Franco Baresi. Ivani. Frank Rijkaard. Milan digging deep into their resources. Needing to show some courage now and maybe get a bit of luck as well. There's a blatant foul by Verdelli on Van Basten. Right on the corner, the outside corner of the penalty area. This might be the opportunity for Milan. Five waiting in the centre. Rijkaard. That was a good defensive header by Klinsmann. Oh, and a goal! It's Costa Curta. Zenga claiming there was an offside, a player to his left. But the goal stands, and the man in the yellow jersey gets the yellow card. Well, look at it again. It was unlucky on Klinsmann, who climbed well in the face of Rijkaard. And here's Costa Curta on the volley. Was Colombo offside? Well, he was making his way back. It was a tight decision. I think he was the player that Zenga was objecting to. Bertie beaten. Milan still with time to effect what would be a remarkable comeback. They certainly deserved a goal as reward for their tenacity in the second half, even though it really hasn't been the very best that they can offer. Look at Massaro representing the urgency here. They're both down, Ivani as well as Mateus. Committed something of a double assault here. He certainly didn't mean to fell Massaro, but he caught Ivani, a real clattering. And it's a free kick. And Donadoni is going to take it. And Inter here are hanging on in a match which seemed to be comfortably theirs. Donadoni hits it deep. Rijkaard! Pretty closely marked, in truth. Perry having to take the goal kick. And my word, he took it well. Donadoni. Baresi got the ball. Massaro working back again. And Baresi and Donadoni in direct opposition again. And this time it is a free kick to Milan. And Baresi could be in trouble here. He shouldn't be allowed to stop the taking of the free kick by staying that close. Milan were able to get it away from him and hope to find Van Basten in the air. Bergamy is down, and at this stage in the game, he might be quite happy to stay down for a moment or two and try and take some of the steam out of the opposition, who are at boiling point. This is Pierluigi De Gea, and it's Klinsmann. So it's a case really of getting a fresh player to help the rearguard action over the time that remains, which we can measure really in seconds. Pasalic, he loved an equaliser at the other end to help him forget about his first half errors. Bergame. Franco Baresi recognising that time is almost up. Just trying to send a long ball through the centre, hoping that Donadoni might do something special. We're inside the last minute. And then it's just a matter of what Pierluigi Pairetto sees as stoppage time. 2-1 to Inter. Costa Curta's goal, by my reckoning, his first in the Italian First Division. Just giving Milan the sight that they wanted of getting a point from this game, but unless they do something frightfully dramatic now, they're going to be beaten for the second week in a row. And they've got local pride to contend with as well in this defeat. Here's Serena. De Gea, the second substitute. Bremer. Happy to get it forward. Maldini. And Milan at the moment pen back into their own half. And they look for offside. The flag has stayed down. This is Serena. And that is the win for Inter. Aldo Serena started it here, and he's well and truly finished it now. And just as they were caught out by Juventus a week ago, the offside trap failed them. And Serena kept his nerve, and I would think the way this game has gone, expected to score. All the key moments in the match have gone Inter's way, really. And although Pasalic was able to take some of the pace off the shot, he couldn't keep it out of his goal. And there is the final whistle. Inter have avenged the defeat in November, but more than that, they've sent Milan to a second defeat in a row in the league. They've kept alive their hopes of catching them and perhaps retaining the championship. It's a result which again will take some digesting. Milan 1, Inter 3. So while Milan were faltering against Inter, could Napoli capitalise away to Sampdoria? Napoli started the game with real purpose, putting Pagliuca in difficulties. The goalkeeper had luck on his side. The first of many incidents in a thrilling game. Diego Maradona was back to his sharpest. Clever play from the Napoli captain to set up Careca, the Brazilian back after injury. Sampdoria struggling against Maradona here. A better chance for Careca this time, but he was closed down quickly. The home side finally into their stride. Dossena marauding down the right. Salsano seeking an opening at the near post. The attack on the Sampdoria left this time, with Victor, the Spaniard, back in favour. Salsano in the shooting position again, Giuliani leaving no gaps. And after 37 minutes, a Sampdoria goal, a splendid 1-2. Roberto Mancini's cross walloped in by Dossena. A real blow to Napoli. Straight away, Andrea Carnevali might have equalised. Pagliuca was having a fine game. But Napoli got the better of him in the second half after he'd saved well from Carnevali's powerful effort. Carnevali had a supporting role this time, but Carreca was the main player and angled in his 8th goal of the season. Carnevali looking for a winner now. Pagliuca coping with the power in the air. A similar chance for Sampdoria, and they took it. Lombardo left free, and Napoli, who'd looked potential winners, 2-1 down. And beaten really because of the excellence of the Sampdoria goalkeeper. Carnevali must still be wondering how he didn't score. From the top to the very bottom of the division, and Ascoli 18 games without a win, but fast off the blocks against Fiorentina. Cvetkovic after 8 minutes. But typical of Ascoli's season, they couldn't build on that. Roberto Baggio teasing them and felled by Sabato. Baggio's 14th of the season from the penalty spot. Fiorentina forcing the pace now. Baggio's back heel inviting the shot from Pioli. But Pioli fell from grace before half-time, cutting down Cvetkovic. Second caution, and off he went. In the second half, Fiorentina fought hard with 10 men, Dunga's long-range effort. Ascoli, Benetti fractionally wide to restoring their lead. But they were opened up by Dunga, and then Baggio, by his standards, has to go down as a miss. And a costly one, because 7 minutes from time, Paolo Giovanelli hit a scorcher from way out. Ascoli's first win for 5 months, Fiorentina falling further into trouble. Bari at home to Atalanta produced their best performance of the season, and they were given the considerable boost of this tremendous goal. Carboni and Monelli helping in the approach work, Maialaro rounding it off, 1-0, only 48 seconds played. Very nearly 2 here. It looked a certainty when Carboni connected with the volley. Great save by Peron. Peron in fine form, he needed to be. Into the second half, and Bresciani beavering away for Atalanta unsuccessfully here. And soon Bari putting their passes together cleverly again. Gianpaolo freed by Maialaro, who kept on running and was there in the centre to collect his and Bari's second. Madonna's effort did creep into the Bari net here, but the free kick was indirect, so no goal. And Bari really finished the match strongly. Gianpaolo just off target, but after 74 minutes, he inspired a third for Bari. Paolo Monelli, the scorer. Atalanta, usually so hard to beat, but their heads down now, and an own goal off Bourdin just about summed up their day. Bari supreme, 4-0 in their favour. Cesena and Genoa both in need of points, and Cesena grateful for a fortunate goal when Agostini lofted the ball over Braglia to take his season's tally to 10. Genoa responded with plenty of character. Here's Rotella, robbed of the equaliser by Rossi's save. Cesena 2 points behind Genoa before the game, and the importance of winning it paramount to them. But Genoa produced a spectacular equaliser, Aguilera flicking the ball up from Rotella's cross, and Fiorin supplying a stunning volley. In the second half, another volley from Fontolan, also fiercely hit, this time well stopped. No score in the second half, even though Genoa down to 10 men when Torrente was sent off for his persistent fouling of Agostini. Staying in the lower half of the table, there was a memorable moment for Cremonese's teenage striker from Paraguay, Gustavo Nepa, whose first league goal in Italy put Cremonese in front after 22 minutes. Immediately, an Argentinian equalised for Lecce. Pedro Pasculi put clear by Pietro Paolo Viris. Nepa himself looked to regain the lead. His header well held by Taranio. Lecce, usually so brittle away from home, got away with their mistakes this time. Taranio bailing out his defenders again from Chiori. Lecce with the greatest satisfaction from the 1-1 draw. Juventus brimming with confidence after mauling Milan last week, particularly Rui Barros, but he couldn't add to his 2 goals then because of Garella's save here. But Udinese broke forward against the odds to take the lead. Balbo playing a part. Branca, the scorer. The chance taken at the second attempt. But that immediately brought the best out of Juventus, with Alexander Zavarov at the hub of the move, Marocchi and Schillaci also involved, and eventually Zavarov himself fired in the equaliser. 1-1, only 12 minutes played. In the second half, Vanoli giving the ball away to De Agostini. He prefers to hit them with his left foot, Garella keeping Udinese in the game. Juventus very much on top now, Gallia linking up with Rui Barros, and this time Garella needing help from a post. Udinese almost desperate now, and Juventus looks certain to find a winning goal, particularly here, but a marvellous rescuing header by Lucci from Rui Barros. The pressure sustained, Bruno at the corner, then Bonetti, and finally Casiraghi. The ball just wouldn't go in. A helpful point for Udinese. Finally to Verona, second from bottom still, but much improved with their young goalkeeper Peruzzi, an important figure in that. Dealing here with Cabrini's cross, but with difficulty. Bologna pressing again. Giordano cleanly connecting with the volley. A let-off for Verona. And they prospered from it. Robert Pritz to Davide Pellegrini, and rounding it off, Tullio Gritti. Verona a goal up 6 minutes before half-time. 4 minutes later, though, Bologna equalised. Bruno Giordano again doing the spade work, and the West German Vass getting the better of Peruzzi this time. A cracking second half started with Verona back in front. Puchetto away on the left, crossing for Pellegrini to be first to the ball. 2-1 to Verona. Again, Bologna hit back straight away. Favero forced into fouling Bonetti. Penalty, Giordano to take it, experience against youth, but Peruzzi added further to his growing reputation. But even he couldn't prevent a magnificent Bologna goal here, the goal of the weekend in Italy, an irresistible volley from Bonetti, 2-2. Verona knocked back, but with the courage to look for the lead a third time. Cousin coping with the Pritz free kick, and then this extraordinary incident, Puchetto's shot blocked, and Pellegrini prevented from forcing the ball in. 14 minutes left, Magrine's free kick, Gritti's first header, no, his follow-up, yes! And a fantastic win for Verona, 3-2, 8 points from their last 5 games. One other result from the weekend where pictures of the game weren't supplied by Italian television. The local derby in Rome went Roma's way. Rudi Voller's 10th goal of the season. Lazio had Bergodi and Trollio both sent off. Well, a lot of activity at the bottom of the table, with Verona sensing a possible escape route now, up 2 places, one of 4 clubs on 22 points. It's hard to see a way out, though, for Ascoli, despite their first win in 19 matches. At the top, Sampdoria, Inter and Juventus will all be thinking that they can take advantage of Milan and Napoli losing. With 5 games left, there isn't much margin for